This here is the Rise Ragnarok Gravity Revolve, the stamina type Beyblade that belongs to the boss. Man, I love the boss. I think he's a brilliant character who unfortunately was used in other seasons, right? They just created copies of him who are his brothers, but anyway, that's a topic for another video. But talking about our Ragnarok, here we have its first version introduced in Beyblade Burst from the first season, which I think is brilliant. A lot of people call it Ragnarok, others call it Rocket of War. Either way, as I already mentioned in the Spriggan video, I'm saying it here too. Ragnarok is the Hasbro version or the dubbed anime version that we watched here, and Ragnarok is the Takara Tomy version from the Japanese anime. So, whether you call it Ragnarok or Ragnarok, both are correct, alright? Alright, here we have our three parts, the linger, the disc, and the driver. So let's go ahead and analyze them. Each one of them, because honestly, there's a lot here for us to look at. Alright, starting here, we have our layer, Rising Ragnarok, which has this orange glue palette where the stickers even highlight the flames even more, which is the element that Ragnarok has when he uses his abilities. Really beautiful, the stickers add a special touch. And here on the top and bottom parts, we have the heads, right? Or rather the head of Ragnarok, but on both sides to make it look even nicer, right? The eyes, by the way, are on a green sticker, both on the top and on the bottom. Well, when we look at it from the side, we can analyze these contact points a bit more, which are totally focused on defense and also a bit on aerodynamics, since it's a stamina type B. So this orange part is meant to cut through the air better and thus spin for a longer time. But overall, it's a Bey that's quite exposed to bursting, okay? Precisely because these gaps it has unfortunately make it easier for this Bey to burst, which is a shame. But overall, it's a really cool layer for stamina, since it has an aerodynamic design that helps with that. Although it does have a downside, which is how easily it bursts. When you look at it from below, you can see some of its little teeth here, right? You can see that they're really tiny, so this Bey really bursts very easily. Not just this one, but all the other versions of Ragnarok as well, which are all very easy to burst. And right after that, we have our disc called Gravity, and that name is no coincidence here, because it prioritizes the center of gravity of this Bey. Since it's a very heavy disc, it will always stay centered in the arena, making it really solid, almost like a tower. But its notches, when you look at them from the side, you can see they're very exposed. So depending on what hits here, the Bey can burst, right? It can unlock the Bey. So these notches act as a weak point because if it were completely smooth, it would be really hard to burst this thing. But overall, it's a really cool disc, very strong, and really designed to add gravitational weight so it stays centered. That's why it's called Gravity. And finally, we have this wonderful driver called Revolve. This tip here, man, this driver is really cool because it has its own independent spin, you know? Where it spins the body part, which is great because it really helps give those extra spins at the end of the battle, known as life after death. Where, depending on the battle, this extra spin can make our Ragnarok come out as the winner, which is really awesome. When we tilt it to the side, you can notice the sharper part of the tip a bit more, right? It's already a bit worn out since it's been used, so the previous owner really wore it down, but it still does a good job with stamina. It still spins quite a lot in my hand, even though it's used, okay? But overall, it has an internal part that fits together with the body of the driver, okay? So this internal part fits together with this, and the disc itself spins separately, okay? So it's really worth highlighting this for you. It's a really cool driver and was widely used for stamina at the beginning of Beyblade Burst because it was one of the best for that purpose. Well, with ours fully disassembled, let's go ahead and assemble our Ragnarok. Starting with the layer, of course, we turn it upside down and we're going to take our disc and fit it into these two little holes. Once it's fitted, we'll take our driver and attach it here, turning it until it sinks in a bit, right? Once it's in, you press and turn it clockwise. All done. And this is the Rising Ragnarok Gravity Revolve. A stamina-type Beyblade, being the first Ragnarok introduced. Man, this Bey is really cool. Even though it's quite prone to bursts because of its layer, it's still a really awesome Bey. Because of its driver, right? Its driver has this unique spin that really helps give it that extra spin at the end during battles, giving it a lot of wins in terms of stamina, but it's very vulnerable to bursting. However, in my opinion, its teeth are a bit better than Wild Wyvern's, which has shallower teeth than this one, making it burst more easily. Both in general burst very easily, but I feel like its layer locks in a little better. I don't know if it's just because this one came like this, but overall I feel like it locks in a little better. However, the exposure of this disc here, the way the disc fits in is very easy. So it ends up bursting easily, see? But anyway, let's go ahead and do the battle test with this little guy here. But first, I want to ask you to leave a like and subscribe below, because that really helps the channel a lot. And especially become a channel member, man. By becoming a member, you get to participate in giveaways and you also help keep the videos coming on the channel by supporting them, alright? So enough talk, let's get to the battle test for this Rising Ragnarok. Alright, to start off our battle test with our Raktivor, the Ragnarok, I want to test it right away against Kirbyus, which is a defense type, right? This Kaiser Kirbyus right here. Let's go. Alright, I'm going to launch Raktivor first because it's a stamina type. And now I'll launch Kirbyus straight as well, since neither of these Beys are attack types or have contact points for attacks, so there's no point in launching them at an angle. Both are battling right in the center, but Ragnarok is really going for that center spot. Now it was the opposite. Kirbyus managed to take the center of the arena, but Ragnarok is managing to hit a bit from underneath. What an interesting duel between these two. That life after death from Ragnarok is just beautiful. It spun just a little bit more there, bringing the win over Kirbyus. It was a really cool battle with both of them fighting for the center. But in terms of stamina, it went as expected. Ragnarok. Well, I want to do a battle test now. Doomsizer, which is an attack type Bey, against our Raktivor, which is a stamina type Bey. Let's do this. Alright, first I'm going to launch Ragnarok here. I'll launch it nice and straight, and then I'll launch Doomsizer a bit tilted, okay? No, it landed the attack, but it already went to the edge. I launched it a bit poorly, but that's alright. It managed to land some attacks here, so it'll have a bit more stamina to hit Doomsizer. No, Ragnarok. But even so, it still won't be able to finish it off. You'll see. It won't be able to... Look. Oh, it's a tie. That was a tie, huh? That was a tie, so we'll have to do one more to break it. Alright, let's launch our Ragnarok here. And now Doomsizer. This time I got the launch right. Beautiful. It already came in hitting Raktivor. Ragnarok anyway. But Ragnarok is managing to hold the center pretty well, huh? Doomsizer won't let him. He just won't... Look, he keeps hitting, giving some nice little taps to push him out of the center. It's going to come down to stamina. Who's going to win this one, huh? Ragnarok is doing its homework, man. He's taking all the battles to stamina, and when it comes to stamina, he's winning, man. That's beautiful. Well, I want to do a battle between two stamina types where we're going to test Yggdrasil against our Raktivor. Let's go. So, I'm going to launch Yggdrasil first, the Tree of Life. And now, Ragnarok, aka Ragnarok. Let's see if he's going to bring Ragnarok to Yggdrasil since both of them come from the same Norse mythology, right? Ragnarok is the apocalypse of Norse mythology, and Yggdrasil is the Tree of Life. Crazy stuff. Let's see who will win this match here. Wow, Yggdrasil is obsolete there in the center. It's really cool to see the Beys bursting apart, honestly. It gives a certain charm to the battle, right? It adds, I don't know, it's just a really cool thing. This battle was really interesting, the victory here of our Raptor War, showing why he is the apocalypse of Yggdrasil, wasn't it? Victory of inclusion. Well, let's do a battle test between Ragnarok against Spriggan. Let's see how it works. Like balance against resistance. Let's go. Alright, let's launch Ragnarok first, launch it really straight, and Spriggan too to get its standard resistance pattern, okay? Both Beys are fighting for the center, and obviously that's going to be much more favorable. Ragnarok is bursting everyone, guys. Everyone, like that. When we look at it, based on its analysis, it's the Bey that's most likely to burst. Because its ninjas are more fragile, its layer is prone to bursting. What it's been doing here is really cool. Bursting opponents easily thanks to this contact point it has here, which helps it a lot, man. It's a beautiful thing. Really beautiful. Well, to wrap up this video, obviously we have to bring the battle between Vault and the boss, right? So Valkyrie versus Raktivor or Ragnarok. Let's go. Let's launch it first, obviously, because it's a stamina type Bey. Here we go, straight launch. And now I'm going to launch Valkyrie with a slight tilt, okay, because it hit a combo there. You have to hit hard. If he doesn't hit Raktivor hard, Raktivor wins, man, in stamina. Want to see? Yeah, when it comes to stamina, the guy is unbeatable. There's no way around it. Valkyrie X Warn Tip doesn't let it win any stamina battles, man. There's just no way. If he doesn't land the attack there like a final dash or something, bro, there's no way. Victory goes to our Raktivor or Ragnarok. Well, this was our Ragnarok battle set. Man, that's so cool. It's honestly surprised me a lot. Because it's really prone to bursting, and from the test we did here, it was the one bursting the others. That was really cool to see, honestly. I was really happy with these battles, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too, alright? Like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time with another video. We're in this together.